What up and what up and what up again and again and again and again and again. It's a what up morning. What's going on, everybody? East Coast, West Coast. We in the building today. We got Philly, we got the Bay, we got Brooklyn. All of us is representing East Coast, but got our different little areas we rocking and representing. You know what I'm saying? It's Brooklyn Beers and Ball Sports Show. We here. It's on fire. We got so much to talk about. Of course, you know, we got the Super Bowl on deck. And of course, we got some good stuff going on in the NBA. Now, we've been promising y'all some NBA talk, so we're going to give y'all some NBA talk. You know what I'm saying? We got Philly the building. Brooklyn Nets is repping. You know what I'm saying? The legendary Lakers is in the house. It's all good. We here in the building. You know, see SKRAPP already ready to start. See them eyebrows go up?
So legendary Lakers. Okay.
Legendary Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Legendary Lakers now. You know what I'm saying? You know. But listen, it's all good, man. Listen. We need y'all to do us a favor, though, before we start talking about the hardwood floor and everything like that and what's on the football field. We need you to like, share, subscribe. Listen, we thank y'all for always holding us down. We thank everybody for coming on when we on live. Listen, man, we appreciate the love. Our channel is growing. We getting a lot of feedback and a lot of conversation and so forth. And so, listen, we're appreciative. So YouTube, hit that little like button, hit that notification button. Every time we go live, you're going to see what's going on here at Brooklyn Beers and Ball, the sports show. All right. Yo, also Facebook, we love y'all, man. Thank y'all been showing us some major love on Facebook, and we want to thank y'all for that. So we appreciate the love as always. But we are in the building. Don's in the building. Scraps in the building. And man, listen, fellas, how y'all feeling, man? You got some NBA stuff good, you know what I'm saying, coming through. You know what I'm saying? Look at Embiid in the box right there. We see Embiid in the box there with Scrap, you know what I'm saying? It's all good there, man. So what's up with y'all fellas, man? How y'all doing?
Well, I mean, you guys have moved on to basketball season already.
I know it.
But it's still football.
Punching down already.
It's still football season. I mean, we're going to talk NBA, and I have to just so it's a good show for you guys. You know, it makes sense to only talk NBA because if we talk NFL right now, you guys are talking about coaching changes. We're talking about Super Bowl, and you guys are talking about we got a new OC. So we gotta make you. It's an inclusive show. It's an inclusive show. We
all inclusive, huh?
All inclusive.
Well, where's the breakfast? Where's the breakfast?
Right.
yeah, exactly. Right.
Continental breakfast to be served shortly. But we want to, so it's all good.
Absolutely.
It's all good. All right. It's all good.
Oh, man. But without further ado, man, let's get into it. Okay, well, this is pre-Super Bowl week, right? So we got Super Bowl a little over a week away. So it's an exciting time. First thing I want to discuss, I mean, we have our differences of opinion, but as it pertains to our teams, I know there's a lot of coaching changes that have taken place. But we're going to, in a later show, discuss and break down the Super Bowl. And, X factors, who we think is going to ultimately win the game, score projections, and the whole nine. But I do want to discuss something recently that was brought up. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Cam Newton made headlines talking about the difference between game managers and game changers. I think that was the terminology he used. And, he was basically saying there was only a handful that are really game changers. He went through a list of quarterbacks who were really successful throughout the season, from Brock Purdy to Dak Prescott, I think Tua. He mentioned certain ones that were having, from a statistical standpoint, a very good season. And he said these are game managers. But recently, this past week, Brock Purdy, of course, we've seen what he's done in the playoffs, right? A lot of the questions, can he be the driving force if the 49ers somehow, some way get behind in schedule and they have to, push to come back? And he's proven that through the last two playoff games, which is he's 4-1 for those that are not keeping score. He's 4-1 in the playoffs. So Cam Newton has comments about Brock Purdy, and he says, well, Brock Purdy, and I'm paraphrasing, not a direct quote. Brock Purdy is the 10th best player on his team. He can't be elite. He can't be this or that because he's the 10th best player. So now we're bringing in defensive side. We're bringing the whole team in. He's the 10th best player. So how can he be that important? And so my question to you guys is, number one, is it out of bounds? Number two, I realize that Cam Newton is no longer a quarterback. He's a podcaster. So is he just trolling? We know clearly he's moving the goalpost to fit his narrative that Brock Purdy is not an elite quarterback. And we can argue whether we think he's elite or not. But given his success in the first 2 years, first year, NFC Championship game, gets knocked out. Second year, after having Tommy John surgery, comes back and is now in the Super Bowl. Is this out of bounds from Cam Newton? Is this par for the course? We as we discussed last week, the people who say that you can't probably won't change. There'll always be detractors. There'll always be people that doubt you. You have to kind of use that as fuel, if you will. But what do you guys think of this comment? Is it just Cam just trying to stay relevant and keep the headlines going as it leads into the Super Bowl, or do you think he has a valid point? What do you guys say?
I think that, like I said before, when it first came up before, I don't subscribe to that. I don't like when older players, crap all over newer players that's playing now. I went through this, because who knows, those guys might have looked up to him. But at this point, I think Cam just want to keep saying what he's saying. So if Brock just so happens to hit a bump, he'd be able to say, "I told you so." So I mean, there's nobody more powerful than that guy that gets to say, "I told you so." So yeah, I think Cam need to just stop. Let these guys play football. He had his time. He made it to the side of the mountaintop. He didn't, get quite all the way up the top. I mean, maybe it's sour grapes because he didn't have the kind of team that Brock Purdy has. I mean, be honest. Like if Cam had, these type of weapons at every position when he was in the Super Bowl, he probably would have walked right into some confetti. But I don't like it. I mean, it don't matter what I feel about the team. Even when he said it about Dak, I didn't like it. Even though I hate the Cowboys, he that's for you, right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Listen.
We gotta show somebody. We gotta show each other love.
I gotta spread it around. I can't even give Cam that much of my brain power because I don't like that. Just congratulate the young man for what he's doing. I don't care who's on his team. I don't care, what kind of stars he got around him, what kind of game changers he got around him. Somebody still has to deliver the ball to them in the right places, make the right decisions. And that's what Brock's been doing. Brock been making the right decisions, the right plays, and that's why he's still playing. And that's why, barring some type of disaster, he's going to be holding the Lombardi Trophy next week. I mean, that's just the the ugly truth of it. So, yeah.
Well, can I just say this? And during Cam Newton's magic carpet ride, just keep in mind that season that they went 15-1, he had 9 Pro Bowlers on his team.
Right.
So basically, could he be upset? And I agree with you. It is sour grapes. Because we seen Cam, his famous play in the Super Bowl of him making a business decision
and not
jumping on that ball. So listen, at this point, Brock Purdy and Cam Newton, other than the MVP, if you go from a statistical standpoint, Cam was, and I saw a clip. Someone said that, I don't know, totally agree with it, but they said that Cam Newton was a glorified running back. That's all he was. He from a statistical standpoint in passing, which you are a quarterback, right? That shouldn't count for something. He never led in anything statistical as far as accuracy, passing yards. I mean, he had 2 amazing games when he came into the league, 2 back-to-back 400-yard games when he came in. But outside of that 15-1, which ultimately, when he got to the Super Bowl, it was pretty much a failure. He was an MVP of the league, yes.
Right.
But why at this point, if you don't have the hardware, you don't have a Super Bowl, and Brock is doing this in 2 years, right? Why even take shots at him? I don't get why take shots at him. But
because, like I said, if Brock just so happens to, sputter or hit a bump and don't complete the task, he gets to say, "I told you so."
But then, but he's I told you so also. Like, that's the whole thing. If he had completed it, had the MVP season, got to the Super Bowl and won, then he's in a position to say, "Oh, I can call," because he could say, "He didn't win. I won the Super Bowl. I was the Super Bowl MVP." I can tell you from experience, from personal experience, what elite is and what's
okay.
not.
Well, let me ask you this: what would get more clicks? Cam Newton praises Brock Purdy and says Brock Purdy is the next coming of number 16 or something like that, or Cam Newton says what he said about Brock Purdy, calls him a game manager and downplays it. What gets more clicks?
Of course,
love or
clearly,
hate?
Clearly, in his case, hate does.
Right. So so he's trying.
Warren Sapp, I think it was Warren Sapp that said he was a glorified running back, but then someone mentioned in the same conversation Cam Newton might be a better podcaster than he is a quarterback, which I thought was kind of low, but.
I mean, like, listen, you're gonna get it from every angle, man. Every angle.
Jason Whitlock said that. Whitlock said that.
Oh, Whitlock. Okay.
I know you hate. I know you don't like Whitlock.
He never took a snap. Never took a snap. Never took a snap of a football. But like I said, man, hate, detractors, doubters, everything is gonna come from every which way. And what I like to tell, anybody that'll listen, like, greatness is two things that can be done with greatness and one thing that can't be done with greatness. Two things. Greatness can be nitpicked and greatness can be debated, even hated on, but it can't be denied. You can't deny greatness. Okay. No matter what you say.
That's a bar, sir. That's a bar. That's a bar. I like that.
That's you like that?
I like that.
Rod, you hear that? You hear that when you talk about KD?
He said it could be debated.
It could be debated. It could be hated on. It can even be, nitpicked. You can nitpick greatness, but you can't deny it. Yeah. You cannot deny greatness.
That's the part I'm telling you. As you sip whatever's in that cup, that's what it can't be
Haterade, while he sips his Haterade.
Right, while he's sipping hot Haterade.
My hot Haterade. My KD juice.
Right, listen, in his flask that keeps the contents warm for 47 hours.
Let the young man finish his journey. Like, it's going to be times where he's going to be on top of the world, and it's going to be times where he's going to be, down. Like, that happens. That happens in a professional's career. Hopefully, last year him getting hurt is the lowest point of his career, because I want to see him do good. I want to see anybody not wearing a Cowboy uniform doing good. That's another one for you, Rod.
Nice.
So
I love going on today.
Absolutely.
Oh, let's
it's
go.
Early, man. Let's spread love early.
Yeah, spread love early.
What you think about Cam? What you think about Cam's actions and words?
Listen, bro, I echo your sentiments, man, all day. I agree with you. Brock Purdy, to me, and I said it last week, to play bad and then to put his team on his shoulders, the guy who's got 10 or 11 other players better than him, supposedly, right? Which is true. I mean, I agree in theory what Cam is saying in that case. Yes, I mean, Brock Purdy is not better than
10.
His weapons.
He said he got 10 people on his team better than him.
Who does that though, Rod?
Yeah.
Who starts pulling in defensive players?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Offense.
No, I agree.
No,
yeah, you can't be pulling in Warner and Ward and Greenlaw and Bosa. Like, no, you can't. You know what I'm trying to say? Because the quarterback would affect the game before one of those guys would, right?
Okay,
I mean,
so offensively,
So
where does he rank offensively on the Niners? What is he, like, third? Would you put
offensively-
Debo and McCaffrey ahead of him?
I put McCaffrey first. Then I'm gonna put Debo. Then I'm gonna put. I would probably have to put Kittles in front of him too. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody got to throw Kittle the ball.
How do you put dependent position
because
players
I think
ahead of the quarterback?
because Kittles was balling before he got there. So I mean, you can't deny Kittles.
That's why I only said McCaffrey and Debo, because they can do it, on the running side of things too.
Yeah, but Kittles has been catching balls way before Purdy got there.
But somebody got to throw it to him.
Someone's throwing the ball to him. That's first off.
Yeah,
Number one,
throw it to him.
you didn't mention Trent Williams. You didn't mention.
Trent and Trent. Well, Trent, yeah, my bad. I didn't get to Trent. So Trent, I would definitely say then in that case, if you really want the truth, and that's just me, how I look at football from this perspective. You know,
fighting out of the blue corner. Rod the Masher Salad. Go ahead, throw them punches, Rod. Go ahead.
Listen. No, we showing love today. We showing love. It's a love morning, man. It's a lot of love going on. Trent Williams out there, but I'm saying you can't say that Kittles is better than. I mean, Kittles is not better than Purdy. I mean, Debo still has to catch the ball too. Yes, he's a hybrid type of player. We know that. And Christian McCaffrey, we know he did what he's doing now. He was doing in Carolina. But, I mean, let's not jump out the window now, guys. I mean, Kittles was catching balls from Garoppolo, from
he's a great tight end. He's a great tight end.
He's a great tight end. I mean, every receiver's got to get the ball from somebody. I mean, Jerry Rice is catching it from Montana. So, I mean, we can't. I mean,
right. But so then, based on what you're saying, where does Dak fall in that? Dak has to be 6th, 7th. I mean, because if we're taking players,
I'm trying to answer the question.
Here we go.
No, listen, I'm agreeing. No, because Scrap said, what do I rank him offensively on the team? And I think he's probably on the offensive side of the ball. He's probably about maybe the 4th best player. Maybe
I said offense. I said on the offense. I wouldn't even bring defense into the conversation.
Right, on offense, as far as the 49er team is concerned, right?
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Absolutely. No, I do. I think CMC, Debo, Trent Williams, and Kittles are better than him. But the point I was going to make was that here's why I give Purdy his props. In spite of all of that, these
it's about to go left.
No. I'm probably. Do you go left?
Everything was all right till it goes left. Everything be all right till it goes left.
Because in spite of how good these other players are around him, right? These weapons. And I said it last week, Purdy was the best player on the field for the 49ers. He bailed everybody out in that game last week. And even on the winning drive with Green Bay, he had a bad game, but he persevered, right? That's not what a game manager does. If anything, that supports being what was the other term Cam used? Game manager and game changer, right? So he changed the game. That one drive against Green Bay, he changed the game. In the game against Detroit, he changed the game. And I said it last week. Shanahan had no clue what. Shanahan, go back in the locker room. I got this. The Mr. Irrelevant is going to get us home. Because I'm going to just do what I do. I'm going to just run, use my legs, be smart, make the right throws, and we got the Shanny. Don't worry about it.
As long as you still refer to him as Mr. Irrelevant, I can't.
No, I'm trying to give you the props. But what I'm saying is I'm only saying that to show you how much you have to give him his props. Like, this is a Mr. Irrelevant who took over an NFC championship game. So you can't even classify him like that anymore. He is a guy that took his team and put him on his shoulders in an NFC championship game, who was the last pick in the draft. That's impressive. I'm not going to lie. Now, is he elite? Is he Joe Montana? No, he is not. I think it's ludicrous when we start going there. I don't care. Stephen A. brought out the fact that he has the highest rated quarterback rating ever in the history of the 49ers. He still does not in the pantheons, okay? Not even in the same ilk as a
But that's not
Joe
the
Montana.
argument that we're making.
But what I'm trying to say is that but there's conversation concerning that. But I will say this, that I give him his props. I don't agree with Cam Newton at all. Cam Newton definitely changed the whole narrative just that quick. And you can't take nothing away from Purdy. And I'm gonna tell you this: and if Purdy don't play well or loses next week, I still don't think you take anything away from him, because his career is still young. He still it's not enough body of work. But what we've seen is very impressive, and can he sustain that through his career? And I think that will be the question, and that that remains to be seen. But no, D, much love. I'm not. Listen, I didn't take it as much love. It hurts me to say this, bro.
I didn't take it as much love. What I want to ask
what did I say? What do you want me to say?
I knew it. We should have went right to basketball. I knew this was going to happen.
With the same token, we need to just for just as a point of reference, where is Dak fall in that comparison of offensive players on the offensive side of the ball? Where is Dak fall in that pecking order?
I think Dak is Zach. In my opinion, Zach is the best. That's all world, right guard. Even a healthy Tyron Smith, and he's also a walking Hall of Famer. So you got Tyron. So you got Zach. You got Tyron, CD, and then Micah, and then I would say Dak.
Offense.
Well, Micah's defense.
Oh,
Micah's
offense.
defense.
Okay,
Yeah.
offense. Yeah, I would say then he's the fourth best player on offense. He's the fourth
Okay,
best player
so-
on offense behind
so I
Zach
don't-
and yeah.
And
Yeah,
this person is
Yeah.
the fourth best, and he's a 8-year player, right? 8-year starter.
Unfortunately to say, it's sad to
Okay.
say that Purdy has done
just
more
so we
than
have
what Dak
a
has
point
done.
of reference.
Yeah. Listen, D, it's your world, man.
No,
You're
no, no,
playing
no,
this
no, no,
league.
no.
And
Because you're
Purdy
still
is better
making
than Dak right now
references
because
to-
of what he's done already. He's done more than what Dak has done in 8 years. Like I told you, Dak couldn't even read the defense out there against Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Purdy couldn't either. But Purdy still found a way to rise up and win, right? That's what makes great players great. When you don't have a great game, but you still find a way to win. And that's what Purdy did. And that's very impressive. That's something I wish Dak can do. Dak can't do that. Dak won't give you that. Dak will freeze and he'll shake and the lights are too bright and he's gonna fold under pressure. But Purdy, no, the kid has shown a lot of guts, and I trust me, D. I hate to say this, but I'm saying it to you. I'm giving Purdy his love. I'm giving him his flowers now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's all. But he ain't no Joe Montana and Steve Young. We gotta stop all that.
How many of us are
There's
though?
a lot of 49er fans and people saying that, huh? Will you say Scrap? I'm sorry.
I said, how many of us are Joe Montana and Steve Young?
Well, right, but you got a lot of ludicrous fans out there, and even pundits.
Well, you
and
got fanatics.
announcers
You got fanatics
trying
in
to
every
say
fan base. There's fanatics in every fan base.
So now
But
you
even people
follow
on TV are
closely.
trying to say that.
Now
Even
you
Damian
follow
Woody-
closely
Damian Woody
the
was even saying
49ers?
that. Huh?
Right, you follow closely the 49ers, Rod?
Listen, I mean, I watched football. I mean, you mean as far as the
What's wrong with
fan,
your voice?
the
You
fan
okay?
base? You mean the
He
fan
went to
base?
his high voice.
Right.
I mean, no, I don't really follow your fan base. I'm talking about,
So-
but there are people that have said that on some sites and stuff with the 49ers.
If they
They
just,
do.
from
They
a
you're
statistical
gonna tell me that's not
standpoint-
true? There are people in your fandom community that are trying to make him the next Joe Montana or
I've heard
saying
people
he's
say-
like Montana.
I've heard people say put Trey Lance in for Dak. Should I take that? Should I bring that to the podcast?
You see.
I'm asking you. Should I bring that? Should I even? Bring
Well, you know
that
what?
to Brooklyn
Honestly
Bears ball?
speaking, I'll be
Trey
honest
Lance
with you.
should replace that.
Listen, you know what? Maybe that might be an entertaining thought for us. At this point,
is
it
not
don't
an
matter to me
entertaining
because
thought.
Dak ain't it. I mean, listen, Dak is not it. Good quarterback. I think Dak is a very good quarterback. I think he is. I'm not gonna say he's not trash. He's a very good
He's
quarterback.
about to get
He just
$60
can't get it
million a
done.
year.
I don't know. I honestly
They're gonna
don't think-
extend him.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I think I really don't know.
I was listening to your fan base, and they said that Dak was going to get, 180.
They're
guaranteed.
thinking that that's what they're gonna do, but I think honestly, I don't know if Jerry and them are gonna sign him. I think everybody's just gonna be lame ducks for this year, and
So
we'll
you
see
guys
how
are
it
gonna
goes.
be
But I tell you
cap
what's
poor.
gonna happen. Dak's gonna leave after next year. If Dak don't get an extension, he's a free agent next year. He's gone. He's out of Dallas. He's not gonna stay. It wouldn't even matter what Jerry and them offered him. He's gone.
That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, it may not be. You're right.
My pastor
Blessings,
is in the
Pastor
building. Good
Christopher.
morning.
Many blessings, sir. Yeah, I actually agree with that. That's I'm arguing with Dak lovers all day on Twitter, man. It's a shame how brainwashed they are. It's just I don't even know. I don't even know why I waste my time with them. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they
So
don't sign Jerry.
let me explain why you're kind of up against it. In order to create cap space, you're going to have to give Dak an extension or cut him or whatever. I mean, if you cut him, it's ridiculous. It would hurt you guys.
Then that's going
You
to hurt
wouldn't
us.
have any flexibility. So for sure, he's going to get paid. To the extent, how many years might be something else. But
You can put some gold shares on
you're
that,
not going to
like
be able
you
to
do all the
keep
time.
Trey Lance for long either. You're going to have to make a decision on him. And if
Yeah,
no
we
one
will.
sees him, he's put out bad tape. He put out bad tape with us. There's not going to be people, knocking down the
Lining
door
up.
to get
You'll get a
He's gonna get a
7th
lot
round
of
pick for him.
preseason love. Yeah.
If that.
If that, he'll get a lot of preseason love. That's what's going to end up happening. I mean, look, I say you're going to have to end up if you're going to run it back. And I understand what you're saying, Dean. That's what everybody's saying, obviously, to create cap space if that's what you're going to do. But if you don't bring them, if you don't create the cap space, we could lose guys. DeMarcus Lawrence is in his, he's a free agent, right? Obviously, Pollard is. We got a couple other guys. You got, you bring back Gilmore. You're gonna lose some of these guys.
I would say y'all could do without Pollard.
CD wants his money. He's gonna want his money this year.
Want his money, yeah.
He's
I'm sure he is. I think he might even hold out. He may even hold out.
His mom's not waiting. His mom's not waiting. She said, "Get my baby out of there."
Yeah. Well, they said it was hacked. Supposedly, the word came out on that.
It's always hacked.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It wasn't hacked. It wasn't hacked 5 minutes before that when he caught the ball. And she's like, "Yeah, baby."
It wasn't hacked. Right.
That's my son.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, but it's all good. Purdy rocks. I disagree with Cam. That's my take on that. Yeah, Purdy, you can't deny him. He did his thing. He really impressed me. I wanted him to fail on all points inside so that I could just come on here and scream on D. But Purdy wouldn't let that. Purdy looked back at the camera when him and Kittles who was that waving at the camera during the shot before Kittle and somebody. Yeah, they was like,
I forget.
Sorry, Rod. You can't.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
This week.
Not this week.
It won't be next week either. But okay, so let's talk about. Let me bring you guys in. Let me include you guys because it seemed like the first 20 minutes we were talking about football teams who are still in it. Let's bring the conversation in full circle. You guys got some coaches. Isn't that exciting? You guys you guys were active. You got coaches. Dan Campbell went to Washington, and now you have the Cowboys have a defensive coordinator.
Quinn. That was Quinn.
Quinn. Excuse me, Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys got a new DC and OC?
Yes,
Philly?
we did. Yes, we did.
Let's discuss that. I want you guys to feel involved. This is an inclusive podcast. I'll sit back and let you guys talk about your coaching stuff while we talk about confetti.
Well, since Rod don't have a DC right now, I don't
have a DC right yet.
I honestly don't know. I mean,
Rex Ryan coming to you soon.
Yeah, Rex Ryan.
At this point, our OC and DC can't be no worse than what we had last year. So when you're on the ground floor, the only way to go is up.
Who's the DC? Who's the DC again? Scrap. Who's your DC now?
Fangio.
Oh, Fangio. Yeah. I like Fangio. Fangio's a problem, man.
He's good.
He owns that.
We were supposed to get him last year, but Jonathan Gannon pump faked us, and he went and signed with the Dolphins, and then Gannon went ahead and left and got the Arizona job because he acted like he was coming back. And then our offensive coordinator, you're familiar with our offensive coordinator, Rod.
Kellen, listen, y'all go score some points for Kellen, son. Kellen was a good OC for us. He was. I thought he was.
Okay.
I mean, the problem with what you could have with Kellen is this, right?
He don't run the ball.
He doesn't run the ball. He will throw it. He's like an Eric Bieniemy to a degree. He'll run it all over he'll throw it all over the yard.
That was our last offensive coordinator's problem. He didn't run the ball, so you mean to tell me I got to sit through this again? 3rd and 2, we going deep. I got to sit through this. I got to sit through 18 weeks of that, 17 weeks of that.
Yeah, and his situational play calling can definitely come in question. It happened in a lot of games with Kellen Moore. His play calling in certain moments. So you know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, he's better than old boy that y'all had this past year. So
that's what I just said. I'm like, when you're on the ground floor, the only way to go is up. So
the only way is going up. So,
they can't be no worse than that. They can't be no worse than what we had last year. So
it won't be any worse.
So all right, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
So, Rod, what's going on with you?
Defensively, I don't want Ron Rivera. Me personally, feels real Jurassic with Ron Rivera, and even with if they bring in Mike Zimmerman. Now, Mike Zimmerman has been a good defensive coordinator, and even a good.
He's the coach of the Vikings, right?
Yeah,
he's the coach of Vikings, and he was in our building. In fact, he actually won a Super Bowl with Dallas in '95. He was our one of our coordinators under. At that time, he was
an assistant coordinator.
He was an assistant coordinator. So, what's his name was who actually was our coach too who ended up coaching us the 3 straight 5-11 seasons. Dave Campbell. So, he was under that. So he was under him. And Zim, he has a lot of love in Dallas, and everybody loves him. Good dude. He went through some family problems and stuff, but good guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Really good guy. But feels a little Jurassic to me. But here's the thing: we may end up only having to get those guys. Why? Because you got a lame duck coach. No DC is going to come in there and is going to want that job unless we go within. So you can go with Al Harris, you can go Joe Witt Jr. Joe Witt, I think what most reports are coming out of Dallas, he's going to end up going with Dan Quinn. So that leaves you with Al Harris. Harris could take over. He's a secondary coach, but I don't know. People don't think he might be ready for that.
I thought Al Harris was going with Quinn too.
He might be going too, but this
y'all better promote him.
We could promote, but that's the only thing. We could go within and promote, because to get any other good DC, if there is anybody out there, no one's going to come to Dallas with a lame duck coach. Just not going to do it. It doesn't make sense for it. Well, who's going to do that? Who's going to up?
I might gotta if Al Harris get the DC job, I'm gonna have to send Birdie to talk to him. Birdie from above the rim. Once you're an Eagle, you're always an Eagle. The Eagles don't win, you ain't going to Dallas or nowhere else.
Right.
If the Birdmen don't win,
the Birdmen don't win.
Yeah,
right. You might be wearing their jersey, but you playing for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, fellas, why no Bill Belichick? Right? Why no Bill Belichick? Why what's his name? Punchable face, the guy with the most punchable face.
I thought he coached our team. Yeah,
Seattle. No. He's the young version of it.
Pete Carroll.
Why not Pete
Carroll? Because they're old.
Oh.
Yeah, they're old.
Yeah, but there's something to be said for experience. From what the reports are, Bill Belichick had a real shot in Atlanta, and because he was unwilling to compromise and not have total control, because they seen like his drafting is terrible. From an offensive standpoint, it's terrible. He's just great defensively, and overall, he's a good coach. But they wanted him to just kind of focus on, I guess, just the big picture, and let the other people, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, handle that, and someone that's in charge of playing personnel, and he wasn't willing, so that's why he didn't get the job.
That's why. That's the answer right there. You are Belichick, right?
Yeah.
Well, he only had one winning season without Brady. Like,
that was it.
Unless he planned on bringing Brady with him, talking him into another go round.
I think Brady's done.
350. He getting that 350 money now.
Right. Absolutely.
He good.
Yeah,
I agree, D. Yeah, he just those guys are too old. Like SKRAPP said, if I had to choose out of the two, though, if I had to pick one, let's just say, I would probably take Carroll. I think Carroll did more with Seattle. You know what I'm saying? Even after Russ left, and him and Dave, what's his name, Kalalis? I'm probably not saying his name wrong. The guy who's now the coach for Carolina, they did a good job coaching up, Geno and getting him ready, and he had a playoff team. And they had some good success until they crumbled, in the midseason. But
Seattle has a really good team. They have a good team.
Yeah.
For next year, they drafted really well.
Yeah.
They got young guys. They got playmakers on the outside.
On both sides. Both sides of the ball.
Defensively, Witherspoon, I think, is really good. JSN is good. Wide receiver.
And that receiver.
And running back is good. So, I mean,
yeah.
It's only going to be Geno that slows them down.
And they got DK. You think Geno slowed them down?
He's not.
Geno got hurt though.
He creates a ceiling. They're not going to go. Do you think Geno is going to be able? When you think about the play in the NFC West, where does Seattle fall in that? Because Arizona, depending on what they do in the draft, Kyler Murray's back. Yes, we know he starts off well and always gets kind of hurt in week 8 in the season, but they're kind of, both of you guys know how Arizona does, right?
Here we go.
I shouldn't even went there. But what I'm saying is they're an ascending team. So I would think Seattle is 4th in the NFC West with Geno. Because Geno is not going to bring you to the next level. Stafford has been playing really well. You got Brock Purdy, of course, soon to be Super Bowl champ. You got Kyler Murray. And then you got, they didn't write back. So, I just think that's a promising team, but that Geno is only going to take you but so far.
Yeah.
So,
no,
all right, but
he's not the future, but good point.
He's not. He's a good placeholder. Maybe they'll draft a
Right.
quarterback. This is a pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
quarterback draft. Maybe they'll pick somebody up and reset the market. So let's talk about the NBA real quick. I know prior to a couple of weeks ago, we kind of slipped the NBA and Scrap was flying high. He was talking about Embiid. And right on time, Embiid, I saw him rolling around, crying, screaming. And I was like, come on, Embiid.
Yeah, that was.
And I usually only use this for LeBron, but what's going on? That knee, someone fell on him, and now he has a meniscus issue. I don't know if it's a tear. I don't know how long he's going to be out. Scrap, what does 76ers do without Embiid? The way he's been playing, because he was playing he's the reigning MVP. And I know you're going to say Maxey had 51, but is that going to be enough when you talk about the teams that you would potentially have to face in the playoffs leading up to getting to the Eastern Conference Finals and then trying to get to ultimately the finals?
The first order of business is letting them be, rest and get healthy, because it was a mistake. Just like it was a mistake to put our starters on the field against the Giants in the last week of the season. It was a mistake to put him on the floor against Golden State the other night. They said, in warm-up before the Denver game, he was when he tried to jump, it looked like he was laboring through it, like he could barely get off the ground. So why even suit up against the Warriors? Just get healthy. Like, we don't care about the MVP. You got one of those already. We don't care about that no more. So there was no reason for him to even suit up against Golden State. He looked bad all night. I was watching the game, and his jump shots was all they were off. Like his whole shooting was off. Like his jump shots was short. It was hitting the front of they were either too short or too hard. He had no fluidity to a shot at all. So I feel like he shouldn't have been on the floor. And then Kuminga, clumsy as he is, I think it was him and Embiid and Draymond was diving for a loose ball. And here comes Kuminga. I don't know what he's diving for.
Kuminga's he's just a wild boy. That's a wild boy, man.
Yeah,
he's just
like
wild.
A Dennis Rodman type of kid.
Yeah, he's just mad unnecessary.
He plays like he's playing for a contract. He's showing the coach that
he on a
dive for loose balls, take the hard fouls and everything. And then he just so happens, of course, to fall right on his knee. Like, what is he, 6'10", 270? You can't just fall on somebody's knee at that size. Like, I can't fall on somebody's knee without hurting him. So when I saw him get hurt, I said, of course he got hurt.
Yeah,
why wouldn't he be hurt? Yeah, so, it's unfortunate, but who didn't see it coming? Like, if he's not 100%, he shouldn't be on the floor. Like, I don't care about no regular season MVP. I don't care about any of that. He shouldn't have been on the floor. That was poor management. And they said before the game he worked out, said he was okay. There are doctors on staff that are there to save them from themselves. Oh yeah, you're okay, but good. Sit on the bench. You're not playing. Like, he can be overruled. Okay, yeah, he'll be mad for a minute or two, but yeah, when he comes back healthy, then that's water under the bridge. But some people have to be there to save these athletes from themselves. And what LeBron said was right. These people basically guilted him and shamed him into playing, knowing he wasn't healthy, just by saying, he's ducking this and ducking that and ducking this and ducking that. I'm like, I don't understand. How do you duck somebody?
I mean, he already ducked Jokic. So
how did he duck him though?
Well, the NBA fined him. They fined the Sixers $35,000.
Yeah, for not disclosing. He was injured. Yeah, he was hurt. He was legit hurt. He got hurt against I think it was the Pacers. We played them. Yeah, against the Pacers. He banged knees with somebody on the Pacers. Like, we could sit here all day and say, oh, it don't hurt that bad. But none of us are 7'2", 300-something pounds, with skinny legs. None of us are that. None of us know what it feels like to bang into another specimen that size. So, I mean, to say he ducked somebody, I don't think, I can't see. If Don comes to my backyard and I give him 40 and I don't play him in his backyard, how's that ducking him? He knows what's going to happen. It's
a difference when you're on the road, though. I mean, when you got to play in Denver in that environment. Well,
Denver got that thin air, so I guess he's.
Yeah.
But they did say
every 40 ain't created equal.
Yeah, they said that when he was working
That
out
was a cheesecake. That was a cheesesteak 40 he got.
no, that was an extra spicy 40 he gave him. Yeah, fried hard too.
Right.
But,
onions, peppers, everything,
yeah,
right?
all the works. No whiz though. We don't do cheese whiz here. That's for tourists. But
Right.
they said that when he was like working out before the game in Denver, like, you know, warming up, trying to play, he was like really, really winded. So maybe the air is a problem for him there. So I don't know, maybe that's why he hasn't played, but he was legit hurt the other day. And then everybody came on. Everybody, like, you know, like Kendrick Perkins and all them came on and said that he shouldn't have played right after they said he ducked him. Like, I mean, remember what I said? You can't have it both ways. Yeah. You got to pick your side and stay on it. Just like with Cam, he can't backtrack now and say, "Oh, I was wrong about Brock Purdy." He got to nitpick something about him. Like, you can't, like nobody wants to be wrong. You see what I'm saying? So
that's right. And he did like look bad before Kuminga fell on his leg. Like every shot that he was taking
was
up
flat. The shot
was flat. I mean, yeah, he looked
exactly
bad.
Now,
yeah,
now if he's faking, then he should get an Oscar, because he had me convinced that he was really hurt. Like, I've seen him play all season. He had no lift on his jump shot. He could barely get up and down the court. You know, it's like it was bad. It was horrible. It was like I'm looking. I'm like, I know I'm not the only person that sees the way he's playing. Like, why is he even in the game? Yeah. It's okay if you lose a game to Golden State in January. It's fine.
Yeah,
you know,
Golden
it's
State.
fine.
Yeah, it's a Western Conference rival.
Fine.
I mean,
like, just
own it.
Get your cash cow healthy. Let him get healthy before you just go, you know, putting them out there in stupid situations. Like, he shouldn't have played the other night. I was beyond ticked off at that game. Just watching. I'm like,
what do y'all? Go ahead, Dion. Okay, go.
Do you think that switching it up a little bit? You think Doc Rivers has tricked another team with a raspy rah-rah speech? Because the Bucks came out and tore out the frame. He gave them one of the like the gargle kind of promise that because Doc Rivers.
I don't know why they brought Doc Rivers in, bro. I don't know what
he needs stars. He needs stars to actually look.
He doesn't
like
know. No, he's had stars. He has had stars on several teams, and he's not able to get them over the top. Now, if you want to talk about dinosaurs and Jurassic kind of coaches, Doc Rivers falls into that. Obviously, for the NBA, we were talking about it for the NFL, but he's starting to fall into that category. Shout out to my boy Cornell, who's a big Bucks fan. He's from Milwaukee. But Doc Rivers ain't it. He's not it. Doc Rivers is, I'm telling you, he's going to start clunking. He's going to grab the clipboard, walk all the way out to the center of the court.
Right? He be walking.
Right after the other team goes on a 17-0 run, he's going to robot himself out there, rock him,
Trust me, I know.
To the center of the court. And then that's going to be it.
Yeah, you know, Scrap. Yeah.
I know that all too well.
But what happens is he's in that kind of group that they're always going to give him a shot, because he's probably a nice guy. He knows how to talk basketball, because they just moved out Mark Jackson, who was doing a fantastic job, right? Cleaned house. Got rid of Van Gundy and Mark Jackson to bring him in with Doris Burke, only for him to leave. I'm like,
that's who I wanted. What? That's who I wanted instead of Doc. I wanted him instead of Doc.
Mark Jackson?
Yeah, Mark Jackson.
I wanted him instead of Doc.
Clearly, Mark Jackson is good enough to be a coach.
Yeah, he got blackballed too.
Steve Kerr gave him credit after they won their first chip in Golden State. Steve Kerr
he had no choice to. He better had. He disingenuous if he didn't. I give that man credit.
It's kind of like getting credit. You know, we got 28 days. That's the kind of credit we get. Yeah. Out of the whole year, we get 28 days. It's Black History Month. Right?
Black History
You're looking
Month.
confused.
Okay, my bad. No, you know what it is?
And the coldest month. And the coldest month of the year.
And the coldest month of the year, too. So traumatized by these, your 9 or 10. I don't know if you get ready to punch down. It's like I'm on guard, man. I don't know what,
you don't have to be, man.
This basketball talk right now. I don't see how
it don't matter.
It don't matter, Scrap. Listen, it don't matter.
We're about to talk about the Lakers. We're about to talk about the Lakers.
He gonna find a way. He'll find a way. We could be talking golf, and somehow Dak is gonna come in that conversation and just get obliterated. So
Oh, you see that bogey? He bogey like Dak bogey the pick six or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Right. There you go.
That's true. But I'll say this. I think it's going to be interesting. My pecking order. Let me get what your, because the Knicks are really exciting right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stephen A. Smith. I'm sure you saw this. Stephen A. Smith.
Cowboys are the NBA, but go ahead.
Right, but he mentioned that. What if the Knicks make a trade to get LeBron James?
You know what? I don't see. You know, D, working around Knicks fans, they are the absolute worst.
They're like Cowboy fans.
They're like Cowboy fans.
No.
Every year is their year.
No, it's not even that. Knicks fans, listen, their trades got to be the most obscene, just stupid things I've ever heard in my life. They just trade everybody to the Knicks. What, 3 months ago they was going to come to get Embiid. Like they, I don't know. I've been working up there 20 years, and over the years, man, just some of the trades I've been hearing. Yeah, we're going to trade Amari Stoudemire for Kevin Durant, and it's just, oh my god.
Their claim to fame is it's such a big market. Is the market, right? They have arguably the biggest market. They're the mecca of basketball, so people are always going to be attracted and enamored to play in the Garden. But
the owner is why people don't go there.
That's true.
Do you really think KD and Kyrie wanted to go to Brooklyn when they said they wanted to go to New York? Nothing against your team, Don. You really think they wanted to go to Brooklyn? They wanted to go to
just what you just said. I took offense.
No, but I'm just
given the choice, yeah, they would much rather go to the Knicks, of course.
KD even said it in an interview. He said I didn't sign with that because I don't like how they did Charles Oakley. When they threw him out the Garden. He said when he did that, he said there's no way I'm signing with a team that'll treat one of their legends like that.
Joe Tsai is just as bad as Dolan. He's a jerk too. But if you think about it, the Knicks, the reason why they're saying that is because the Knicks have a lot of money. The Knicks have a lot of picks, right? They got 11 picks. So a team that's retooling, if the Lakers are smart, you have to, yes, you're in win now mode, but you do have to, because teams like the Lakers, as Rod started the show, the illustrious Lakers, or whatever he said, fantastic Lakers.
Legendary
Lakers.
All those words are good too. You can keep those words.
Those teams don't necessarily rebuild or retool, right? So you have to plan for your future. You have to understand that LeBron's not going to be there forever, right? So why not? It's not a ridiculous take for them to go after or go to a team or trade LeBron. It's never going to happen, but trade him to a team that has 11 picks, because if you're concerned about your future, Jeannie Buss can't be so focused on the grayness of LeBron's beard that she can't see past. He only has a couple of years left. And depending on where his son goes, unless he's going to force them to trade for Bronny or pick Bronny up, I mean, you can probably strong arm them to do so. I mean, it's
but
not
he
a
already
ridiculous
came out and said that he's not. But Rich Paul already told Brian Windhorst. He told him. He said LeBron will not be traded, and he is not asking to be traded. LeBron doesn't want.
So why did he post? Why did he post the hourglass? Is it about getting Darvin Ham fired? Because
it very well could be. It could be, and to maybe make some trades or something. What up, Nelson? You know what I'm saying?
What up?
Unc, right? That's Unc.
Right? Oh, it's Uncle Buck's birthday. Happy birthday, Unc.
Right.
Happy birthday.
Happy B-Day, Unc. Happy B-Day.
Why don't y'all do the witch card? Y'all put your thumb up or create the balloon.
Let me give him a little
you
something
guys
here.
supposed to be
Let me see
those
what we got.
iPhone.
There
you go.
There we go.
Hey, how you do the confetti? Happy birthday, Unc.
Confetti. Where's the confetti?
I didn't do my homework.
Oh,
what's that?
Oh, he's doing a light show?
It's a whole light show here, bro. That's how we do. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? That's for you.
You saved that for the show after the Super Bowl. When we talk about Brock Lesnar.
No. I say this is what I'm saving for Donald, because Donald not gonna see this next week. So you get it on the show, but you ain't gonna get it on the film.
When Brock Lesnar
you gonna get on
the Super Bowl, I want all the.
I got you,
bro. We're going to stand up and we're going to turn halfway and we're going to salute as you have all of those You know, Star Spangled Banner. We're gonna be
What up,
saluting
Briggs?
as all the confetti goes down. Cool, no
I'm
problem.
gonna give you and Briggs confetti. I'm gonna give you the iPhone version because you're not gonna get the real confetti next week. So
we will get the real
I'm
one.
gonna give you, I'm gonna hit you off with some confetti. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good.
I forgot to do my homework, man, to see how to make all the things. But I can do this.
You got the thumb, right? Yeah. Hit that. Yeah. If you hit that, if you see your icon up there, Scrap, on your computer, you on your iPad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's look for the camera. Look for the camera emblem that should be on the top. I'm
Okay.
on my
The red
Mac.
one?
Nah, it should be green, probably. It's the camera up top. It's a button there. You just click on it and you could it'll show you center stage, portrait, studio lights, all that.
You guys have all off season to figure that out, as you are not. You're
And we lost, Scrap. We got all off season, D. This is what we do, man. We got
all. Let's add them back to it.
all week. We got all week to figure it out.
Yeah, that's homework, man. You can't show up on the day of presentation and you ain't do your homework, man.
Mike McCarthy's trying to figure out that, and, you know,
right? Yeah,
Sirianni. But listen, let's talk about the Lakers.
Yeah, let's talk about
a couple of weeks ago. Lakers low-key lost the Brooklyn Nets, since we want to punch down on the Brooklyn Nets. And that was with LeBron and Anthony Davis playing. I think from LeBron's standpoint, clearly he wants Darvin Ham fired. Clearly he does. And I don't think Darvin Ham is necessarily... Really?
He doesn't know what he's doing. Look, D, we've had about 8,000 starting rotations. And you know what he tells us? Like, he'll say, we're still trying to figure it out. Like, bro, you can't be 30 games in still trying to figure it out. Like, that doesn't work. Like, you got to know where to put your guys at. He can't find... Now, granted, guys weren't healthy. I'll just say this real quick and I'll let you go back to what you was going to say. But they just haven't been healthy, Don. You know what I'm saying? Vanderbilt is out again, but Vanderbilt did not start the season. Rui Hachimura missed a lot of games, right? And this is somewhat to Darvin's defense. And then, of course, Vincent has been nothing. He came in and went right back out. So we haven't seen him. So we don't even know what he can bring to the team.
That's not the coaching. That's not the coach's problem.
I mean,
acquisitions and injuries.
Is Vanderbilt that much of a
but this is the same team. Vanderbilt is a big difference. Big difference. Vanderbilt's defense is
Rod has been talking about Vanderbilt.
Vando is the man, son.
And I think they're supposed to be building a statue of Vanderbilt, right? Are they doing that?
Gloria Vanderbilt? We talking about the same... we talking about Gloria?
The same Vanderbilt. I mean, Rod tried to run me into the ground when I was talking about a good player on the Brooklyn Nets. And now you're putting everything on, because remember it was Vando last year.
TJ Warren.
Vando's coming. We need Vando. You have arguably
Vando's he's making a difference.
Two top 10 players on your team.
Yeah, but Vando's hustle. You don't see it in the stat sheet as they often tell you. Vando's
I don't see
energy,
it when I watch the game.
You gotta watch. No, you ain't watching the Lakers. Really, anybody with even non-Laker fans will tell you, Vando is the centerpiece and the heartbeat of the Lakers defensively. When he's out there, everybody
more
raises
than
their
Anthony
defensive
Davis.
game up. Yeah, because Davis, even though Davis is more of a shot blocker, but Davis sometimes he don't cover. One thing about Davis, he does not cover the perimeter well. He don't chase guys off the three-point line, and you got to be able to do that in this league. Everybody's shooting threes. That's the only weakness to Davis's defense. But when Vando's out there, everybody rotates. Everybody puts pressure. There's a hand in the face. When he's in there, there's a differential number that
now is this one of those things where you just pick a random person from your team to champion? Because it sounds like that.
No, Vando's a difference maker, right?
He's a defensive guy.
When the Sixers had Lou Williams, I lived and died for Lou Williams as a Sixer. Now every now and again you pick that one guy from your team. You be like, you know what? This is going to be my guy. No matter what, this is my guy. Is that what you're doing with Vando?
No,
it feels like
you said he's the heartbeat of the Lakers.
For the defense, he's a.
You hear that, Nutso? The boy here says he owes me. He owes me.
You know what, I can't
That's
stand
a Nutso take.
I can't.
Nutso.
Vando is a difference maker on defense. Everybody will tell you that. And he's a wing defender. He can't. He's bad on offense. He's like a Dennis Rodman. He's good on defense, but he's not going to give you any offense. That's the only problem.
Unfortunately for y'all, Vando's not a linebacker. This ain't football. He got to play on both ends of the field. Or the court, I mean.
Well, I mean,
and this ain't hockey where he can go running off the court.
But there's a lot of guys on good teams that do that. That are just good defenders. They're gonna give you some good hard minutes.
I don't hear nobody screaming about them like you are.
No.
You're not in those special Lakers circles where they talk and they take deep dives on Twitter or X and they talk about Vando, how special he is.
That's a dive deeper than that submarine.
Vando is a very good dude, man.
What's that thing called? The submersible.
That disintegrated? You talking about the submarine that disintegrated?
That's a submersible tape. You dug all the way down there for Vando. That's what you dug. That's what you came up with digging down there in the Lakers.
I'm trying to tell you, man. He's a factor when he's on the court, man. He's a factor.
Well, I mean, your best ability is availability.
Right.
Yeah, he did what he got. He's been hurt. The foot's been bothering him. Hachimura, what? Mm-hmm.
You got Hachimura.
Yeah,
I think Hachimura when he was playing last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was more of an impact player than Vando was, right?
Well, because he can score. Hachi is an offensive weapon. Hachi can score. I mean, that's what makes him better. Now his defense ain't. But no, his defense is good, but not like Vando's. Vando's defense is a whole.
I gotta see this Vando play.
Can shoot. Vando can shoot. Vando can shut guys down.
He's probably like a 71 on 2K. I'm gonna go on 2K and see his rating. He got to be like a 71.
I guarantee you his defensive numbers are good. I guarantee if you look on him defensively. Offensively, he's trash. He can't be, he might hit a corner three, which is the highest percentage 3-point.
So he's like PJ Tucker.
Now PJ Tucker has better defense than Vando.
Nah, Vando's got defense though, bro. Y'all gotta see. Y'all don't know. I mean,
let me pull up. This is the problem. If he's on defense, and
this is not even a stats thing, right? This is an eye test thing. I've never seen this.
Listen, if you see, then if you're gonna go with eye test, then you got. It's only because y'all don't watch Laker games. That's the only reason why. And I know Lakers come on.
Let me back up.
You should be able to watch them because they out there.
Right. E-F-Z-G. T-R-A. Can you read the last line? It's T-R-A.
We
don't see it. We don't see
Vando is anybody will tell you that. Yo, I'm telling you, like when we even made the trade when Vando came last year, we was the number one defense in the league in the second half of the season last year. And a lot of that was attributed to Vando's defense.
If you're still there, Briggs, you agree with that Vando is the difference maker? He's the heartbeat of the Lakers. When you have LeBron and AD.
I'm talking about just that spark on
which heartbeat is he?
D trying to take it to another level.
Who said heartbeat? I didn't say. You said heartbeat, right?
Which heartbeat
is he? I said heartbeat, but put the heartbeat in context.
He's a heart murmur. He has a heart murmur.
Tanya Gardner,
he can't be the heartbeat.
He's a palpitation.
Right. Indigestion.
They don't watch the Lakers. Y'all don't watch the Lakers. That's all.
Late at night, and then I went to bed.
You gotta watch the Lakers. Listen, all right. Well, listen, you gotta watch the Lakers. Anybody that Laker fans will tell you, and people that watch basketball will tell you, Vando is.
Is he playing? He playing today?
No, he's not playing. He's out now 2 more weeks because he got hurt, and he got hurt. He was out there for 10 minutes for 10 points and forced like 3-4 turnovers against Boston the other night. And then he got hurt. That's
what part of the game was that in?
That was in the early. I was like in the first half of the game. First half, he got hurt in the second quarter. Somewhere in the second quarter.
10 points in the second quarter.
Yeah, he had 10 points in that game.
The heartbeat is not playing.
Y'all play the Knicks, right? He's going to be out several weeks.
So based on what you're saying, you guys are doing.
I don't know if you can sell me on this Vando thing.
Vando's not a scorer, but he is a good defender, though. He's a very good defender.
No, we're not going to downplay it now. You said heartbeat of the Lakers.
I heard the word heartbeat.
Yeah, for our defense. Yeah.
You didn't even say for our defense. You said he was the heartbeat. He was the pulse.
But D, you know what I'm talking about.
He was the catalyst. He was the.
That's what I'm saying. Out of the 5 heartbeats, which one is
wind beneath their wings? You were saying all kind of stuff.
Is he Eddie Kane?
Actually, he hit 2 threes against Boston in the other night. In 16 minutes, he had 10 points. And he was a plus 17 when he's on the floor. Like Vanderbilt is a good, to tell you, he's a good player on defense.
Oh, excuse me.
He's a good.
Excuse me, I'm so
How
sorry
come
for that.
no other Laker fans is
Everybody has a
that?
player like that. So who's your scrap player? Who's your player? Everybody gotta have like that goon dude, like that you know, you gotta have.
Oh,
that,
the goon on my team?
Yeah,
Oh,
who's
Pat
a goon
Bev.
on your team?
Pat
Who?
Bev. Pat Bev.
Right, and Pat Bev will once in a while give you some offense, right? But other than that, we know him for his what? His defense, his tenacity, his grit. You know what I'm saying? Loose balls, and he's gonna hustle. That's what Vanderbilt brings to the Lakers. Same
But
thing.
you won't hear me on here screaming Pat Bev like you screaming Vanderbilt.
No, I'm screaming Vanderbilt like
You'll never.
I
don't think Scrap would ever say Pat Bev is the heartbeat of the 76ers.
No, but he's a right. But I'm saying right. But Vanderbilt was a starter for the Lakers. We talk about the rotations and how many there've been because the Lakers have had guys hurt. But at the end of the day, you still got a lot of guys. It's not like you're bringing in new guys. You're trying to mesh them in. It's the same doggone team you had last year. So you still put your pieces in. There's no reason why you can't settle in on the fact that you can't solidify a starting lineup. And then you had Reeves and D'Lo at the same time. Players. Two guys that got to have the ball in their hands along with LeBron. It's too much.
I disagree with you on that. You made several acquisitions, and it takes time to get it to. You got Christian Wood.
These are the same guys last.
It's not the same guy.
No,
you got Christian Wood.
Christian Wood was
Don't let me start quoting more Lakers
him.
than you. You got Christian Woods. You got the dude from the 3-point specialist from Miami who's been injured the whole time.
Vincent.
You have to now.
Right. We don't. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm saying.
So you have to integrate those players into your offense.
The only difference is you got Woods, Hayes. Hayes got burned last night. He got run against Boston because AD was out, so he had to back up Woods. Woods is a guy we all been screaming to play more, right? And when Woods is in there, he makes a difference. But Vando don't play. I mean, pockets. We call him pockets because he sits on the sideline with his hands in his pockets. That's all he does. Just stand there with his hands in his pockets the whole time.
Who's that?
Ham does it. Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham. He just stands. You don't watch him. He just stands there with his hands in. We call him pockets in LA. That's all he does is just sit there. And you had Woods is a very good player, and he can shoot the 3-ball, but he didn't have him in there, right? So I'm saying like you had lineups that would work, and he just was not. He would a lineup that did work, then he would pull it out. Then he would stop playing the guys, and we didn't know what. And then Max Christie, I think they want I don't know, maybe the front office like, yo, we got to play Max Christie a little bit more because he could be a trade piece. So we got to be able to show what he can do for other teams to see. And so you got him in. I'm not a big fan of Christie, but he is what he is, second-year dude. He's supposed to be one of our future stars, if you will. But I don't know. I'm not sold on him like that. But outside of Woods, though, D, and Vincent, who hasn't played, the core of your team is still there. Hachi, Reeves, you signed back those guys. You know what I'm saying? Taurean Prince is a new piece. He's all right. He's all right. He has his moments, but he's not great. He's supposed to be the 3-point guy, but he's not. He's not. No, I'm not.
He is 3-pointers here and there. Him and AR-15.
Yeah, AR-15. Now, and that's another thing. AR-15 started off very bad. He was horrible in the beginning of the season as well. He's starting to pick up his game, and then we had to bring him off the bench so we could get
that good. He's not that. I was so upset that he made SportsCenter like he was the all-world player. Like Reeves is average at best.
Reeves dropped 33 against Boston, and they were fully healthy.
I know.
Fully healthy. Okay, so I'm saying
he's not a difference maker.
Hold on, listen. Pat Bev dropped 26 against Boston, and they were fully healthy.
He dropped what?
26.
Did they win
against Boston? In Boston, no, they didn't win, but he dropped it. He dropped 26 in Boston against Boston. So I mean,
that's right.
Yeah, that's good.
They have
Boston
but
that's
lapses.
an occasional performance offensively for Pat Bev. But you could see Reeves, he's been consistent as of late, not in the early part of the season, because I think he was a little tired from playing in the whatever they had.
You said tired?
Overseas. Yeah, I think his body just wasn't prepared for that. And he just had a slow start. His legs was tired. He didn't have no legs. Now he's got his legs back. Like, listen.
The delusion doesn't stop on the gridiron, I see. You bring the delusion to the hardwood too.
So you're trying to say that AR-15 and Austin Reeves is not a good player? I'm not saying he's an all-star. I'm not saying he's an all-star. I'm not saying he's an all-star, but he is a good
his
player.
legs, he was tired from playing in some type of summer league. That was
he was in the summer league. He was on the USA team. He played on the USA team. That's what he played on. Yeah, he played on the USA team.
Okay.
Was he on the practice team or the regular team?
No, he was on the starter team that played with all the other NBA players. The one that I think I forgot who the coach was.
They won silver, right? They didn't even win.
Kerr was
gold,
the coach.
right?
I think Kerr was coaching, huh? I don't know what they did. I don't follow that. Listen, since the dream team been gone, I don't follow that. We've been losing.
Dave has entered the building. He's starting off firing. AR-15, a streaky player.
He is. He's not shooting well from the 3-ball this year. Last year he shot 39%.
He was on the actual team that went played against other countries, or was he on that team
that
were the real team to beat up on?
They were asking for anybody, whosoever will, please.
Nah, they was getting young. They was getting young players.
I had an email from USA Basketball. I ain't never answered it.
You never opened it, right?
I never opened it. They probably wanted me to play. Yeah, man. I don't believe
it was open. It was open audition.
Anybody from the Nets? Would anybody from the Nets get invited to that? Bunch of role players y'all got. Bunch of role.
Mikal Bridges was there. Hello.
Bridges was there. Mikal Bridges. Okay.
Yeah. He can't play year round. Yeah, he can't play year round, but I think Reeves.
He's not that
Laker
good.
Fans, if we're honest, Reeves is a
good.
disappointment. He's a bit of a disappointment.
He hasn't.
No, y'all trying to justify that contract they gave.
Did he live up to the shoe deal? Rod, did he live up to getting his own shoe? Yes or no?
Yeah,
he got a shoe. What, he got some answers?
He got a shoe. Yeah, I forget the company. No, I don't even think it's a.
Rod, didn't you have a few pair, don't you?
He got some answers or some and-ones.
He was trying to sponsor this show and we turned it down. We didn't want to be sponsored by his shoe.
Oh my god!
Nah, we're not being.
Yeah, y'all not making us talk about that.
We'll hold out until the right opportunity comes. We're not going to be sponsored by your shoe. But yeah, I think what are you gonna do, man?
That's all right. My Lakers, we'll have to see. We're not gonna win a chip this year. We're not gonna win a chip this year. We'll make it
a surprise. What a surprise!
Y'all already did
in season.
Yeah, y'all already won a chip
in season and out of season.
In season, out of season.
But hey, Rod, listen though, are you like pulling for him just to like hoping he plays up to that contract that they gave?
I do. Yeah, I would hope so. But so far he has been too since I would say in the last month and a half. Reeves has last month and a half or so. Reeves has picked up. He's definitely picked up his play. No question about it. I can't say otherwise.
They won a certificate. Nice. All right, David.
They want some free McGriddles.
He does have some good, some comedic, except when he talks about his team. He has no team. He's in search of
he must
a team.
Be a player. Who's your favorite player, David, in the NBA? That's. I guess he's a player guy.
Yeah,
players.
He might. Are you a Knicks fan, Dave?
That's we gotta find out. But all I know is my team got 17 banners hanging up, and we did win recently. Okay, so all right. If I feel I'm getting back in the corner, that's how I'm swinging out. All right, that's how I'm swinging.
And y'all got the play-in tournament. And y'all got
Kevin
the
Durant. Oh, sell out!
Bravo!
Sell out, KD.
I love KD.
Me too, man.
I love KD. I don't care what nobody say about him. I love KD.
KD's a great
player. His game is fire, but he didn't do what the greats did. He killed his legacy.
How?
Joining with a championship team. That's how. LeBron didn't do that. LeBron didn't do that. Miami was not a championship team. Miami was a bad team.
He teamed up
with two All-Stars, right?
Yes,
he did.
He teamed up with the best shooting guard in the league and arguably the second or third best power forward in the league. They colluded.
Yeah, they colluded. And so did, but I'm saying, but even with that though, right? LeBron still was the best player on that team. Wade was pushing LeBron and deferring to him to pass the torch to him as far as being the guy, right? Yes, they had and they had Ray Allen. I get it, right? And they went to 4 straight championships, but only won 2. He being Kevin Durant, went to an invincible team to beat the only guy that pretty much had the whole league on lock was LeBron James. So that's the only way that they was going to beat LeBron. So they collude with KD. KD joins
They beat
them.
LeBron the year before they lost to him.
Wait a minute.
Without Kyrie and Kevin Love. That's a fake chip. That's a fake. It's a chip, but it ain't a fake chip. I mean, they won. But we know the outcome would have been different if Love and Kyrie played in that final. Come on, he had Matt Dellavedova. That was his second best play on that team. There's no way they was going to win that championship game against Golden State. He went to an all-world team. Come on, man. That was a suck MC move. Come on, bro.
LeBron created an all-world team.
And he can't
it was nobody that could compete with the Heat that year. It was nobody that could compete with the Heat.
How soon do we forget about not 4, not 5, not 6? That statement that statement was not so. It wasn't so much because of LeBron's greatness, but when you team up with Chris Bosh and Wade, you created a super team.
Yeah.
And they were in their prime, right? So if people want to knock the Celtics about, Kevin Garnett wasting a lot of time in Minnesota and then coming to the Celtics, you got
Paul Pierce, of course,
Ray Allen, and they created.
But they traded for them. They gave up stuff to get them. They didn't all just sit around and say, "Hey, we all going to sign together."
Right. While they were on the banana boat in the
what? KD did something different. What did they?
Don't side with
Golden State. Did Golden State give away assets to get KD? He was a free agent.
He signed
with the Golden State Warriors, a team that was already a championship team that won 73 games the year before that. So
championship team that lost to LeBron, and that team that now you're saying was an undermanned team was able to beat the Warriors. And as much as people knock Kevin Durant's significance to the Warriors, how do you go to a team, whether they were 71-9, whatever their record was, right? He came there and he was the best player. He won Finals MVP twice.
He was the best player in OKC too. He was going to be the best player no matter where he went. But it's hard to defend the legacy of Kevin Durant when you talk about a guy who was all world, and now you come to a team with the unanimous MVP, a team that just went to 2 straight finals and won one and came off a 73-game win season. Where is the pressure at? Where is the grit? Where is the say? I'm the only reason why he balled because he got Steph and Clay who was in their
You
prime.
can't do that. You can't pick and choose. You can't pick and choose. LeBron, that's a monster LeBron created. So he had to eventually fight the monster he created. He created that colluding and signed it with top players.
Okay, but let me ask you a question though. Let me ask y'all a question. In the chips there, even though he was with Wade and Bosh, who ended up still when you look at that championship, those 4 straight of appearances they had, winning 2, right? At the end of the day, at the bulk of it, who was the one that carried that team and still was the dominant player on that team? Was it Wade? Was it Bosh? Definitely wasn't Bosh. Bosh's game was compromised greatly when he got.
You want to say LeBron was, right?
It was LeBron, right? So Wade was still good. Now I'm not taking away from Wade.
You just ruined your argument, right?
Go ahead. Say your part, D, because I know what you're gonna say. Say your part.
Because the best player, you said in that when he joined with Wade and Bosh, LeBron was still the best player, right?
Right.
When Kevin Durant went to that team, the Warriors, he was the best player on that team.
He went right, but he didn't have to earn anything. There was no earn. He was the best player, but what I'm saying is, the best player. When you're the best player, though, right? My thing is this: you are going to be the dude that's going to have to take the pressure and be the guy that's going to ultimately get your team to the championship. KD didn't have to do that. Yes, he was the Finals MVP, but you're playing along Steph Curry and freaking Klay Thomas. That's like okay, so the guy who wins the NBA, the All-Star freaking MVP, we're gonna say that he was the guy. He had played with other All-Stars. I mean, I'm saying it's diminished.
LeBron played with other All-Stars.
Right, but not to the same caliber. Miami was they had a young coach, obviously, right? But Wade is a Hall of Famer. I'm not taking that from Wade. Wade was a very good player, obviously he was. But at the end of the day, the pressure was on LeBron. There was no pressure on KD. All KD had to do was come in and just shoot KD. because no
Right,
one's going to be able to
right.
hold me and Clay and Steph.
Right.
No
So
one's
you
going to
don't
be able to
think
do
that there was pressure on everybody in the chat? You, other people will say that there was no real impact for him going to a team that won 71 games the season prior, right? You don't think there was pressure for him to go to a team? Because if they failed, it was all going to be on him. You went and joined this team.
What are you talking about?
If Kevin Durant goes to the Warriors and they fail, you don't think all the pressure falls on him?
D, well, how are they going to fail? How are they going to fail, D? There was going to be no fail. And David just made my point. They still ended up losing 2 chips in Miami. So how dominant was that collaboration? It wasn't even that dominant. They still lost 2 chips.
Well, that's none of my business if they weren't able to succeed.
Yeah, to close the deal.
My point is, right, but that's the point I'm trying to make. That
the point is they colluded.
There was nobody dominating Golden State. Who was going to dominate Golden State with a Kevin Durant?
It don't matter.
Once
one person
make
do
him
it,
the greatest player. What player? What has he done? Who does he lead to a championship? Nobody. He's done it. He went to a championship team and won already. He slid into a great team already, an historically good team, great team.
Listen, you can't pick and choose.
We're knocking him for him having options and making a
But if you want to be that dude, then what you do is you get to a situation where now you become you want to pair with a couple other stars. Fine, do what you do.
You want to be that dude,
but you ain't that dude.
On TNT and talk and never have rings. And just vicariously live through the other champions.
This is
Kobe lead his team to the finals and win. Did Bird do the same? Did Magic do the same?
They wasn't the same type of team.
Jordan do the same. Did Tim Duncan do that? They so KD is not on that level with them. KD is KD, right? But I'm saying, but Magic was the team elevated. When Magic got there and he ran the team, he orchestrated the success of that team. Yes, you had Worthy. Yes, you had Kareem. But Kareem was going to sit with that 1 chip he had in Milwaukee, and he forced him way out and got a trade into LA. But the whole thing is that when you look at the great ones, when you're going to compare the great ones, you got to compare the great ones and say who was a bus rider and who was the lead dog on that team to take them to a championship.
This is Rod's version of Cam Newton. This is Rod's version.
No, it's not.
Of Cam Newton.
Not.
Rod,
KD's a great player, but he can't stand next to the ones that led their teams.
Rod's
take
to Kevin Durant
led the Warriors to a finals.
Is Cam Newton's take to Brock Purdy. It just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. You still have to execute. You still have to execute.
But D, the execution is that much easier though, D, when you got all-world shooters, historically great shooters that no one has ever seen on the earth with Clay and Steph pulling up from 40 feet, shooting 3. How was you going to stop that?
Isn't that amazing?
With a KD there now.
And he still was the best player.
But that's the point I'm trying to make. He was the best skill player, but he joined a great team already. So you don't get points for being an all-world skilled player, and then you join a great team that really almost didn't really even need you per se, right? Because Steph still ended up winning a chip without KD.
Let me ask you this question. Cleveland had just beaten the Warriors, right? In LeBron's dominance, right?
And took him
do you think if the Warriors did not fly and beg Kevin Durant to join their team, that ultimately the Cavs couldn't beat the Warriors again? Some teams just have the other team's number. We don't know that. We will never find that out. The Warriors won the first game, albeit with no Kyrie and no Love. They come back the second season, and then it took 7 games for Cleveland to beat them. It takes Kyrie's shot for them to beat, okay? And even though you had Kyrie and Love, who was still the player on that team who led that team, they don't win without LeBron. But you can't say the same for KD, because now if KD's not in Golden State, we don't know if Golden State would have maybe won the 3rd time they played together. It's a possibility that championship you could have had a Boston, LA in the 80s again. We don't know. But once you got KD, everything changed. And now you got the greatest skill player with an already great team,
It wasn't going to be. So KD is not the guy that won those championships for them. Like, he put them on his back and he won. No, he didn't do what LeBron did in Cleveland. He didn't do what he did in Miami. He didn't do what Kobe did when he had Pau Gasol and they went to 3 straight finals against they went to play. They lost to Boston, although Bynum was out in that game and Trevor Ariza didn't play in that game. But then they came back and then they beat Orlando. Then they beat Boston again. But that was Kobe's team. Yes, he had some really good pieces on that team, Pau Gasol. But at the end of the day, it was Kobe's team. You can't tell me that Golden State team was Durant's team. It was never his. That's why he's not there now, because it was never his team. It was always Steph Curry's team. So he don't get credit for that.
So let me ask you a question. A person staying with a team determines if it was their team or not. Is that what you're saying?
Well, put it in context. Why did he leave the team? Because he was not ingratiated.
Didn't LeBron say that the Heat was Wade's team when he went there?
But what was Wade trying to do? LB, take this. LeBron, take this team. Because LeBron has that deferred mentality. That's his personality. But Wade was trying to tell him, this is your team. I know I was born and raised here in Miami as far as being drafted. This is your team. I got a chip here with this team. I get it. I'm the homegrown. But this is your team. Just like Steph and Clay and Draymond. They were the homegrown. So that was their team. They were the beloved ones. Okay. KD is the stepchild who came in, took them,
so he came in,
and
elevated
them to help to beat LeBron. Right.
Elevated them. Whoever that you only play.
That was you just said it. That's why they got him, to beat LeBron. That's why they got him.
Mission accomplished. So what are we arguing about? Mission accomplished.
We're arguing about the legacy of KD though. That's the thing. Not Golden State's intent to bring him there. So let me ask you this. But why KD agreed to go there?
Is Kevin Durant a Hall of Famer?
He's not on that level.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes, he is. Of course he is. He is.
Is he a league MVP?
Yes, he is.
Is he an NBA champion?
Yeah, he is.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Is he a NBA Finals MVP?
Yep.
How many scoring titles does he have?
So you're reading off the resume of a lot of good players. But the question is, when we talk about the greats, who led their team to the success? Forget all the accolades. Forget all of that. A lot of guys got multiple MVP awards. That's
what puts you in that category.
Okay, I'll tell you
accolades.
Let me ask you a question.
Give me somebody who doesn't have those accolades who's great. I'll wait.
Who doesn't have those accolades?
But I just Vando. That's who it is. Vando.
Perfect.
Vando. He's the
number one answer.
On the Lakers.
Somebody who doesn't Kobe was never an MVP of the league. Kobe was never MVP of the league. He never won an MVP. But the truth is,
so what about all the other stuff, though?
It's Kobe. Now, ask me this question. Who goes down? Who will be perceived as the greater player, Kobe or KD?
Oh, clearly, it'll be Kobe. He's more.
And why is that? Why is that?
Part of it is he played for the Lakers. If we're honest, part of it is that he played for the Lakers.
Okay.
That doesn't matter.
I mean, Jordan didn't play for the Lakers, but I'm just saying. But
Bird
didn't play for the Lakers. He's trying to say that it's because of the franchise. So just putting the Lakers.
I said part of it.
Okay, part of it. Okay, all right.
I didn't say the
okay. Okay.
You listening?
Part of it.
I said part of it is because he played for the Lakers. Part of it is the amount of championships that he has won, the type of player he is, and of course, a grassroots player that is drafted to an organization, and you're able to see him mature into a great, iconic player. Of course, there's always going to be affinity to that player. He's a great player. God rest his soul. He is a great player.
Missing? What's the other contributing factor to that greatness that you're missing there that will cause him to stand above Kevin Durant? It's the fact that he won 2 chips without Shaq. That's what it boiled down to. Because the first 3 chips was Shaq. And then now Kobe has to prove to win. Just like Shaq had to prove that he could win without Kobe. And he did in Miami, right? Even albeit he had a very good grade.
I was about to say, so Gasol and Lamar Odom and those guys are chopped liver.
But whose team was that, though? But that's the point I'm trying to make. Guys, whose team was that? Gasol ain't winning that chip without Kobe, right?
And Kobe's not winning it without Gasol.
Right, but whose team, but who won? Right, we could, all right, so then in that case,
so it's the argument.
So who won the championships for the Bulls then? Who won the chips for the Bulls? So now we're going to say Jordan is not what he is because he never won without Pippen? Like, it was still Jordan's team. Jordan was the
guy. It could be your team, but he did not win without Pippen. That's a fact.
But
That's
D,
a fact.
who was okay? But whose team was it in LA when Kobe won those
Jordan's
chips?
team.
All right,
It was
Jordan. And
Kobe's
whose
team.
team? And it was Kobe's team. So whose team was it when Golden State, when KD was winning in Golden State?
You're mixing up face of the franchise with best player. You're mixing that up.
D, it's the guy. The best player is also the guy that wins and carries the team. KD was the most skilled player in Golden State, but technically speaking,
so
and it's improving because now Steph done won without him.
I'll bring it to I'll kind of bring it to because we have to wrap up. I'll bring it to something that you can kind of wrap your mind around. Cowboys, for example. Dak Prescott is the face of that team. Is he the best player? He's the face. He's the face of the Cowboys. He's synonymous. Those sleep number beds, my left side needs to be on 89 and my right side needs to be on 92. All of that, he's the face of it. Is he the best player on the team?
If he's the best, if you're talking about the skill player, yes, he is the best player on the team because he plays the position that impacts the game. So he is. You have to say it. Yeah, I said Zach Martin and
I'm about to say Rod. Like
they don't. An
hour ago, you just said he was the fourth best offensive player on the team.
Right, but if we're talking about winning a championship, you're not winning a championship with your left tackle. You're not going to win the champ. Those are good pieces, and those players are better in terms of what they have in their career. But at the end of the day, your quarterback is the guy that's going to be able to it's going to affect the outcome.
Everybody,
but that's not a good. But that's because basketball and football are two different. It's not the same. Show.
Rod completely did a 180 on.
But D, that doesn't translate well. That example doesn't translate well.
I'm giving you an example of a face of a franchise and the best player are not always the same. They're not always the same.
But D. What I'm saying to you is that Kevin Durant you cannot, if you really being honest, can you say that he was the guy that carried his team to a championship the way LeBron did, the way Michael did, the way Kobe did, the way Shaq did, the way Duncan did? Duncan had all players on his team too that are Hall of Famers, but they were the guys. It didn't matter even if they were drafted or not. It was the fact that they took those guys, those teams, and created dynasties out of them. KD does not get part of it. When you think about the Golden State dynasty, the first player that's going to come into your brain is going to be Steph Curry, not Kevin Durant.
And
Kevin Durant was a bus rider. He rode the bus with those guys.
But let me ask you a question. The Celtics, big three. Who was the face and who was the best player? And we can end the show on that. Who was the face of that Celtic team, and who was the best player?
Paul Pierce was the face.
It was Kevin Durant.
Paul Pierce.
Not Kevin Durant. Kevin Garnett.
KG was the best player.
Yeah. KG.
Thank you. Paul Pierce, because he was that was his team. He's going to be the face naturally, but Kevin Garnett was the best player. He was the reason that they won those championships. That they won that championship. Anything's possible. He was the reason.
Because the truth is, Kevin Garnett technically, and this could be an argument. I know we're in here, but the argument can be made though, D, that watch this. Here's why this argument doesn't translate. First of all, Pierce never won anything. Steph was already a champion before Kevin Durant got there.
Wade was already a champion before LeBron got there. What is your point? Wade was already a champion before LeBron got there.
Right, but what I'm saying is LeBron over the course of his career still was able to lead. Right, but D, we're talking about the greatness of the both players. We're not talking about a season. We're talking about when we look at the length of their careers. KD did not do what LeBron did, even with Kevin Garnett, who was actually technically the better player than Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is Hall of Famer, as is Kevin Garnett, but Garnett was technically the better player overall.
That's what I just said.
I understand
that,
but. Right, but the difference is, D, he came in there and won that chip for them. That's not what KD did. They was already champions, but when KD got there, they already had 2 conference appearances. Boston was trash before they got Ray Allen and Garnett in there.
What about Miami?
That doesn't translate.
When Wade already had the championship and LeBron
a couple of years before that. Miami wasn't really a great team before then, D. When by the time LeBron joined them, they had won that chip a couple times. Or Shaq was already in Boston overweight by that time. He was trash. The team was trash by then. They was trash.
It was a couple of years ago with the Warriors too. They didn't win. It wasn't the year before. It was 2 years ago.
They was in the finals. They
lost
went back-to-back finals.
They lost.
They just came off of a loss.
But the level of success that Golden State had, other than what Miami had before LeBron got there, and what the Celtics had before Garnett got there, is completely different than what Golden State was already riding with when KD got there.
It was a couple of years ago. A couple is two. Last I checked, it was they had lost that season prior. When Kevin Durant got there, they won the next two. That's the point. Whether it was a couple of years ago before LeBron got there, when LeBron got there, Wade had already had a championship. He didn't bring anything to them. He added to it, but Wade was already accustomed to winning. When he teamed up with Wade and Bosh, Wade will always be the beloved because that's his team. Wade County, right? He relinquished it to the better player, as Steph Curry did to Kevin Durant. Steph is always going to be the beloved babyface assassin, but he relinquished it because Kevin Durant is a better player.
Right, he's a better player. But D, you're not looking at the situation that Kevin Durant walked into, though, D. That's the part you won't admit. You won't say that was already a championship caliber team. That's not what Miami was. They had a championship before, but they were not a good team when he paired up with him and Bosh. That team was not good. They were not a good team. They had a new coach, the whole nine. It was not a good team. They had Van Gundy in this situation there and everything like that. They ended up getting him fired. That was back when Shaq was there. That team was not good. They was in a rebuild mode, and Wade was not. Miami was not a good team. You're taking away from the truth of the fact. You can't be disingenuous and say that KD did not walk into a championship situation.
So if you take a team, right, that already got a top player on there, and put two more top players on there, that don't automatically make them a championship team, no matter what happened the year before?
No, well, you saw that with Miami because they lost. They still lost two finals.
They went four in a row, didn't they?
They went right to the championship when they got LeBron and Bosh. To there.
Right. But
so that automatically made them a championship team.
But let me ask you this, Scrap. Who do you credit those championship wins to? Do you give it to Bosh? Do you give it to Wade? Or do you give it to LeBron?
I give it to all three of them. Well, LeBron.
Oh my God! You know what?
No, LeBron.
We hanging.
Clearly, LeBron put them over the
top.
LeBron put them over the top.
But that could be the same argument for Kevin Durant. He was the Finals MVP.
But what were they before Kevin Durant got there? You're not taking.
They were losers. They lost. They just had lost.
Golden State was a losing team. They won 73 games
and lost.
73. They
won 73. It was 73 and 9. 73.
They won 71.
They won 73 games. It was 73 games. They won that year.
Okay, 73.
They beat Chicago's record of 72-10. They were 73 and 9.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah. They were 73 and 9, but
he joined a 73-win team that goes to the finals and loses 7 games into the finals now. It ain't like they got blown out by Cleveland in that finals. They go 7 full games down to the final minute of that game, and then
lost.
They still and lost, right? But they still were not the Miami team that LeBron joined before he got there. That was not the same team. Okay, come on.
So
even with the Lakers, the Lakers were a bad team before.
Was the East easier or the West? What was a tougher gauntlet to get to
the West
to the championship?
The West was way harder.
The West was harder.
Okay, so
the West was harder than the East.
LeBron going there to Miami and joining up with two All-Stars.
He was already in the East, right? Mm-hmm.
But joining up with 2 All-Stars catapults that team to the. I think. It was an easier
LeBron
path.
Catapulted them. Right, exactly. You're right. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's it.
He did. Right. He did catapult them in an easier path to the finals. Yeah, I'm not arguing that. That's a fact.
But if you put them 3 on any of the same team, if Bosh and Wade would have went to Cleveland, they would have went to the chip. If Wade and Brian would have went to Toronto,
Why? Because of what person? Because of that one player. It was LeBron James. Because he ruled the whole East. The dude went to 8-10 straight finals in a row. What I'm saying, and took a bad Cleveland team at that.
Don't do that. Not by himself, he didn't. Don't do that.
No, but Scrap, was he not he had help, yes, obviously.
He was the best player.
Just like Pippen had Jordan had Pippen. But at the end of the day, it's Jordan.
Don't do that.
So you trying to say it wasn't LeBron? It wasn't LeBron that did
it was
that?
LeBron, but you can't.
We're not arguing that LeBron is not the best player when he goes
you can't compare him. You can't compare LeBron and his cast to Jordan and Pippen because you only hitch Jordan's name to one person. 2, if you want to reach and say Phil Jackson. You only like to do this without Pippen. It's everything Jordan without Pippen, but it's LeBron without
I get
Kevin
that.
Love,
Right.
Chris Bosh, D Wade.
Yeah.
Like, you got a whole laundry list of names you hitch LeBron's name to when it comes to winning
And
championship.
even as a Laker,
we can't compare them to.
He made Anthony Davis. He made Anthony Davis force his way out of New Orleans to join him, and they won a championship.
Yo, this dude,
whether it's in the bubble or
this
not,
dude
he
built
has
his
always
own
had-
teams everywhere he
I'm
goes.
not talking about the creation of the team.
He
And
built
I'm
his
not-
own
what I'm
teams
saying
everywhere
is-
he goes. Stop comparing him
but
to Jordan,
those
please.
teams were bad. But what I'm saying is, but LeBron never joined a 73-win team that already was a championship team. That's the point I'm trying to make. So y'all keep negating what was there before the person got there. That's the point I'm trying to make. You can't call
But
yourself one of the
KD
greatest in the sense of
Yes, you can.
taking a team somewhere if you came to a championship caliber team already. They were already champions.
KD signed with the team. LeBron created his own team. Do you understand the difference between the two? He created his own team. I can't get on the phone with D Wade and be like, yo, we gonna sign together. Chris Bosh, yo, we gonna sign together. Ray Allen, yo, come sign with us. Like,
Okay, but what has more guarantee? All right, but let me ask you this though, Scrap. What has more guarantee? A fact that you could put a super team together on a team that was already bad, the organization itself. You come in there, what guarantees do you have that even is going to work? Which we've seen in LeBron's case, it failed. LeBron lost 3 finals with Cleveland with Kyrie in love, right? And he lost 2 chips with Bosh and with Wade.
All right, well, how
But
many of those
Kevin
finals was Kyrie and Love healthy for? Because wasn't they both out the first time they lost to Golden State?
They was out the first time they lost to Golden State. Remember, they played 4 years in a row against each other.
Right.
And Golden State won 3 out of 4.
So how many times were everybody on LeBron's team fully healthy?
All 3 championships except 1. The first time they met. That was the only one that they wasn't there. So how much success is that putting your super team together is versus the fact that you already walked onto a championship team that needed no tweaking, no adjustments.
You can't get mad at Golden State for drafting good, though. You can't get mad at Golden State for drafting good.
No, but this got nothing to do with Golden State.
Because they got rid of Harrison Barnes.
I'm talking about KD's decision.
They upgraded from Harrison Barnes to Kevin Durant. But listen, we can go on and on.
I know, yeah. All right.
We got to close this.
Part two coming up.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
We really going to take a deep dive. But shout out to everyone that joined the show. David, H-Town boy. We're going to talk to you. James, our affiliate.
What up, James?
Chris Foster. We appreciate you joining.
Happy birthday, Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck
Happy
in the
B-Day,
house.
Briggs,
we thank you for joining us. Shout outs to Kingdom Creative for the production. Shout outs to Infinite Audio for the music. We appreciate it. Once again, please like, share, subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube page. We're gonna have some really, really good shows coming up when we discuss and take a deep dive into the NFL, the Super Bowl, who's gonna win, predictions, X factors, you name it. And then once the 49ers gone and win the Super Bowl, we will start our NBA talks. We will see who are the contenders and who are the pretenders.
You ever see that movie Lucky Number 11?
No.
Oh, they do this thing when they call it the Kansas City Shuffle, but we can talk about that another time.
Cool, no problem. But in any case, we appreciate you guys for joining us. Until next time, Rod, Scrap, great show.
Great show.
Peace.
Peace.